A factory that once built cars for Queen Elizabeth II and Elvis Presley was silent by 2005. More than 6,000 workers lost their jobs, and the company owed over £1 billion. MG, once known for making British sports cars for everyone, had collapsed. This story follows the company's decline and revival, showing how electrification and its 2007 acquisition by a Chinese firm rebuilt MG into a major player in Europe's EV market. To see how MG made this comeback, we first look back to its start, a small Oxford workshop that began the story. In the 1920s, William Morris started a small business in Oxford. He fixed and sold cars with little money. Cecil Kimber later joined him. Kimber liked cars and wanted to make them stand out. He changed regular Morris cars by making them lighter and sharper, and this led to the MG 14/28, the first car that looked and felt different. Kimber wanted sports cars to be for everyone, not just the rich. In 1929, the MG M-Type came out. It was light and cheap. This car became popular because it gave more people a way into car culture. MG's idea to make cars that looked good, performed well, and were priced for a wider group of people. MG soon gained respect through racing. Kimber tested MGs himself and won races like the London to Land's End Run. In 1933, the Magnette K3 won its class at the Mille Miglia in Italy, the first non-Italian car to do so. By the 1940s, MG held 43 world speed records. The Octagon badge on the car became a symbol in Britain. It was more than a sign of speed. It gave people something to be proud of. For many in the middle class, owning or wanting an MG showed a sense of hope and skill. The badge meant the car could be trusted, looked neat, and was fun to drive. MG was known as a British brand with a special style. MGs were soon seen outside of racing, in movies and on stage. These cars became known for their unique look. When the MGB launched in 1962, sales grew fast. They sold about 512,000 cars. Owners included Queen Elizabeth II and Elvis Presley. MG was popular with people from different backgrounds. MG was not just about cars. It was also about community. The MG Car Club started in 1930, grew around the world. The MG Live event brought owners together every year. Fans came from many countries, building lasting connections tied to the same brand. MG offered a mix of race history, design, and price. It appealed to regular people and to celebrities. This mix helped MG become a known name in cars. By the late 1970s, MG became part of British Leyland. Decisions about the brand were made far from Longbridge. Little money was put into MG. Car quality dropped, new models showed up less often, and MG's name grew weaker. The brand could no longer rely on its past alone. Sales dropped as foreign cars took over, and MG became less important. In 2000, BMW left Rover, which included MG. 4 British businessmen, John Towers, Peter Beale, Nick Stevenson, and John Edwards, bought MG Rover for £10. BMW also gave the group a £500 million loan. Many people hoped that this would save MG and protect jobs. The hope faded fast because of weak planning and growing doubt. Money problems got worse. The company owed over £1 billion. Hardly any money went into making better cars or newer products. Instead, the directors paid themselves £42 million as the company neared collapse. The government later called their actions immoral but not illegal. For many, this showed the leaders had given up on doing what was right. Investigators also found odd behavior. There were confusing tax details. Peter Beale deleted files the day after being told about a government inspection. Reports noted these actions but found no proof for criminal charges. This angered staff who felt let down. The factory closed in April 2005. Over 6,000 people lost their jobs right away. Thousands more lost work at part suppliers. Many families depended on factory pay. People lost homes, marriages ended. The closure spread pain through the whole area. Longbridge showed clear signs of failure. Half-finished cars sat on the line. Paperwork and unused equipment filled empty rooms. The shutdown became a symbol of the fall of a major British car company. Some tried to save MG Rover, but the company was too small to compete with big groups like Toyota or Volkswagen. By mid-2005, news outlets said MG's story was over. MG's future seemed lost. But after the loss, a new buyer from overseas appeared, ready to take MG's story in a new direction. In 2005, a few weeks after Longbridge closed, Nanjing Automobile Corporation bought MG Rover's assets for about £53 million. For people in Birmingham, the sale felt distant. Many wondered why a Chinese company would buy a British car maker that had failed. The answer was the MG badge. Even after production stopped, the Octagon was still known worldwide. In many markets, MG stood for sports car. Nanjing wanted that recognition as a quick way into Western countries, where new Chinese brands struggled. In 2007, SAIC Motor took over Nanjing Auto, and with it, MG. SAIC already built millions of cars each year with partners like General Motors and Volkswagen. MG gave SAIC something different, a well-known global name. By combining with Nanjing, SAIC gained MG's engineering skills and access to car designs based on Rover. This also helped SAIC produce more cars and use the MG badge to bring Chinese models to Europe and beyond. Early signs of MG's revival were small but important. In 2008, SAIC restarted building MG TF sports cars at Longbridge. They made a special version, the MG TF LE500. Less than 1,000 were built and ended production in 2009. Building cars in the UK proved too costly. Much of Longbridge was taken down and sold. By 2016, car assembly in Britain ended for MG. Only a small design and engineering team stayed. SAIC's approach was to keep MG's legacy, but not by saving every factory. They opened the SAIC Design Advanced London studio for new model designs. This kept a link to British talent but moved assembly to SAIC factories in China and other places. MG's style stayed British, but most work was done abroad. This plan worked where old efforts had not. It kept MG's identity, but cars could now be made at a lower cost. The MG6 launched in 2009, showing this new direction. It was styled like past MGs but used SAIC's new engine and digital features. The car mixed British looks with Chinese tech. The MG6 was more about showing MG's future than making big sales right away. In 2011, SAIC released the MG3. The MG6 targeted families. The MG3 went after young drivers. It was affordable. MG was shown as practical and easy to own. Many in the UK felt reassured seeing new MGs on the road. By the mid-2010s, MG was making progress. SAIC did what earlier owners couldn't. It used MG as part of a bigger car plan. MG now had a stable future with strong backing. But SAIC knew that tradition, design, and entry-level cars would not be enough forever. By 2015, MG was steady, but needed a new goal. That year, SAIC made a choice to shift MG toward the future. Electrification was the turning point for MG. After years of rebuilding with SAIC, the company saw the move to new energy vehicles as a way to grow. By the mid-2010s, electrification became a clear goal. Growing demand for electric cars in Europe, along with rules for lower emissions, made the region a test market. If MG could earn trust in Europe, it could move beyond its past image. MG faced a problem with reputation. Many in Europe doubted the quality and safety of Chinese cars. Tesla already led as a top maker of premium electric vehicles, but its prices were too high for many. This gap made space for a car that was affordable, safe, and kept some of MG's style. MG's plan was to meet these needs, returning to its roots of offering cars that were within reach but still had appeal. This car started with the MG EZS EV in 2019. The EZS was a small SUV focused on trust, not power. It faced Europe's strict safety tests and got the highest 5-star rating from Euro NCAP. This changed how people viewed Chinese cars. MG then moved from meeting expectations to competing in design and sales numbers. The MG4 EV was a compact hatchback with a good price and modern design inspired by MG's sporty past. It gained attention quickly, winning over 70 awards, including top model prizes in the UK, Germany, France, and Australia. In 2023, the MG4 was Europe's best-selling compact electric car. MG proved it could stand up to well-known brands in Europe, offering cars that look good, were safe, and cost less. MG's history remained important, most clearly in the Cyberster. This electric roadster had scissor doors and fast acceleration, reaching 100 kilometers per hour in just over 3 seconds. It won Top Gear's Best Electric Sports Car Award. The Cyberster showed MG's return to making sports cars and gave longtime fans something familiar while bringing new buyers to the brand. By 2023, MG reached a new level. The company sold over 840,000 vehicles worldwide that year, with more than half going to developed markets such as Western Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. For 5 years, MG was also China's top car export brand. From small beginnings in Oxford, MG was now competing with the world's major automakers. Europe was a key part of this growth. In Britain, where the brand had once disappeared, MG was once again a common sight. By 2024, MG placed 10th in UK vehicle registration with a 4.18% market share. For a brand that many thought was gone in 2005, MG was back in daily use by British drivers. This success raised questions about MG's identity. Some asked if MG was still a British brand. MG highlighted its long history, used the 100-year-old British automobile brand tagline, and sponsored major UK events like the Goodwood Festival of Speed. Car meets such as MG Live also continued, giving fans ways to stay connected. The design studio in London kept links to classic British style. At the same time, MG was fully owned by SAIC, a Chinese company. Most MG cars were built outside the UK in large Chinese factories. Some critics said MG had lost its British identity and was now just a label for Chinese vehicles. Supporters argued this new model kept the brand alive. What exists is a mix, a brand with British roots and Chinese support, shaped by both history and global reach. This mix was seen outside Europe too. In India, MG worked with JSW to enter the market under local rules. The company promised to shift to majority Indian ownership and source parts and research locally. MG's approach depended on adjusting to each market's rules and needs. In 2024, SAIC sold over 1.2 million new energy vehicles worldwide. MG became more than a survivor. Heritage provided a link to the past. Chinese ownership brought resources and global reach. Local partnerships offered adaptability. As a result, MG became a brand defined by both challenge and growth, shaped by its ability to adapt and find new relevance worldwide.